João Mendes is a beast. He's got the skills, dribbling, shooting, and the girls. And it's no surprise when his father is the great Ronaldinho. From nutmegs and roulettes to rainbow flicks and tricks, you won't believe how good Ronaldinho Jr. has become. Birth. During the 2004-2005 season, Ronaldinho was the best footballer in the world. His fancy footwork, trick plays, ability to score creative goals, and the huge smile he played with brought joy to millions of fans worldwide. But while fans gathered weekly to watch him perform his magic, Ronaldinho's eyes were fixed on something else. While watching the local Brazilian dance show, Fausto, Ronaldinho set his eyes on a beautiful dancer known as João Mendes. The sight of her lit a fire in his heart, and when he got the chance, he flew down to Brazil to ask her out. 9 months later, on February 25, 2005, the couple welcomed a healthy boy, much to the delight of fans and well-wishers worldwide. When the time to name the boy came, Ronaldinho only had one thing on his mind: to honor his late father, who died when he was just 8 years old. So he named his son João Mendes de Assis, after his father, João de Assis. With a father like Ronaldinho, the general expectation was that the boy would follow in his footballing footsteps. But at just 2 years old, he experienced his first challenge in life. His parents separated, and he had to live with his mother in Brazil because he was still very young. However, whenever he was with his dad, they would play football together and hang out with his father's teammates. Spending time with Ronaldinho made him develop an interest in football. So at just age 4, he asked his mother to enroll him in a football school academy. At such a young age, he didn't fully understand how famous his influential father was. He was just a kid who wanted to do what he saw his father do. However, to protect him, his mother, Janaína, didn't enroll him in a popular academy, but allowed him to play football with the kids in the neighborhood and at school. As he grew older, he became more aware of who his father was, and he started feeling the pressure. Whenever he played with other kids, he would dribble past the kids and score goals for fun. Yet it didn't seem enough. Everyone expected him to do something magical. After all, he was the son of Ronaldinho. This made him question himself if he would ever live up to his father's legacy. But his passion for the game was what made him persist. So at just 10 years old, he joined the Flamengo Academy to kickstart his professional career. Flamengo. Getting accepted into the Flamengo Academy was a huge step forward for João. It meant that he was ready to follow in his father's footsteps. This achievement was exciting, not only for the Ronaldinho family, but also for Flamengo fans who were cheering at the possibility of unearthing another superstar. Life at Flamengo started well for João Mendes. He showed great skill and a keen eye for goal, but after the honeymoon, his coaches became more critical of his performances. As Ronaldinho's, they treated him with a higher standard of scrutiny. He wasn't just seen as a 10-year-old boy who was learning, but they expected him to be a prodigy. This never-experienced pressure got to him, and his performance kept worsening. So just a few months into his Flamengo career, he walked up to his mother's room and told her he wanted to leave the academy. When asked what he wanted to do next, he said he wanted to play futsal just like his father did. So his father made some calls, and Vasco da Gama agreed to train João on their team. Vasco da Gama. Ronaldinho's interest in football started with his love of futsal as a child. He became so good at it that even when he transitioned into organized football, he still played like he was playing futsal. The close control, fancy flicks, and tricks that brought so much joy to fans all came from futsal. So it wasn't surprising that his son wanted to follow the same path into football. However, things didn't go exactly as planned. You see, futsal was an entirely different proposition to organized football. The pitch was made of concrete and the balls were less bouncy. It felt overwhelming for a young player who didn't play futsal growing up, mainly because everyone expected him to be good at it since he was Ronaldinho's son. Still, he didn't put his head down, but showed commitment to improving his game. After a few months of training, the improvement was obvious. He controlled the ball better, had picked up a few signature futsal tricks, and had better long-distance shooting. But then again, he decided he had learned enough and wanted to return to organized football. So Ronaldinho made a few calls again and got a trial with Boa Vista RJ, a club playing in the Rio de Janeiro State Championship. Boa Vista RJ. As expected, this move came with a lot of media coverage. The fans of Boa Vista couldn't believe that the son of the great Ronaldinho was having a trial at their club. The training sessions were packed full of people, and João didn't find that very beneficial. With the fans and media monitoring his every move, João told his mother he wanted to try someone different, to be himself for once. So he stopped the trial and decided to try again elsewhere, but this time as João Mendes, not Ronaldinho's son, Cruzeiro. At just 13 years old, João heard about a trial at Brazilian Serie A club Cruzeiro. He told his mom to allow him to go because this was the opportunity he had been praying for. Upon getting there, João Mendes did something unexpected. He followed the same procedure as every other kid and didn't tell anyone he was Ronaldinho's son. Many other players would have leveraged that fact to get preferential treatment, but João Mendes wanted to leave his father's shadow. He wanted to be himself. When he stepped onto the field, he blew everyone's minds. He was fast on the ball, dribbled past the other kids with ease, and his decision-making was way too mature for his age. Without any hesitation, the club offered him a 6-year contract to join their academy, where he could further develop his talent. Life at Cruzeiro started brilliantly. In his first match for the team, he showed his ability by picking the ball close to the halfway line, running at the defenders, and unleashing a powerful shot into the net. In his second game, he displayed his futsal skills by using a roulette to spin away from his marker. As each game passed, his confidence grew, and it became evident that Cruzeiro had a huge talent on their hands. But his game wasn't just tied to dribbling and shooting. He had keen eyes for a killer pass, and displayed it when he gave this defense-splitting pass. He became a sensation in the Brazilian youth scene, and 1 year later, he received the biggest offer of his career. Apparently, since he signed for Cruzeiro, Nike was monitoring his progress, and just 1 year later, the iconic brand signed him as one of their players at just 14 years old. This moment marked a significant milestone in his career, opening the doors for what was coming next. He spent the next 2 years tearing up defenses at the youth level, but with his contract soon expiring, questions began to arise. Where would he play next? Was a move to Europe in the cards? Or was he going to continue playing in Brazil? No club. Upon the expiry of his contract in February 2022, João Mendes left Cruzeiro hoping to secure a move to a bigger club, but his dreams quickly turned into a nightmare. At 17, he was already big enough to start playing for a senior team, yet no big team made any offers. He remained without a club for the next year, and all the hard work and dedication he put into his Cruzeiro career began to fade away. But one day, while training at the gym, he received a phone call that would change his life. João was invited to come for a trial at FC Barcelona. The big move he had been hoping for was now within his grasp. Transfer to Barcelona. With his father, a club hero in Barcelona, the excitement, a club where he could truly become himself. Burnley. In August 2024, Burnley FC of England announced the signing of João Mendes on a 2-year contract. Upon signing his contract, João said, "I'm a technical and fast player, and my main goal is helping the team win games." A statement like that is what Burnley fans want to hear. Playing mainly as an attacking midfielder or second striker, João has shown himself to be quite capable. He's strong and fast, can easily take on players, and has a rocket of a left foot, skills that will help him thrive in English football. All he needs is some time away from the media and his father's shadow. Speaking of his father's legacy, it has done the kid more harm than good. Father's influence. Being the son of the great Ronaldinho comes with many perks. You get to live a life of luxury and privilege everywhere you go. But in footballing terms, it's a huge burden. Most fans automatically hold kids of superstars to their father's standards. While a few have tried to live up to the expectations, most such kids have failed miserably. The pressure is simply too much to handle for them. They spend most of their time trying to be their fathers, and in the end, they lose themselves completely. Throughout this story, the Ronaldinho name has repeatedly derailed João's progress, and the only time he shone brightly was when no one knew who he was. Maybe that's all he needs to be a unique player, someone who can achieve greatness without the help of a family name. With Burnley in the championship now, it's the perfect opportunity to carve out a career for himself. Should he get a consistent run of games at the youth level, it will build up his confidence and improve his skills. Exceptional players don't come cheap nowadays. Should Burnley manage his progress well, they could unearth a precious gem. But while João Mendes is trying to rebuild his career, Cristiano Jr. is already taking the world by storm. I'm talking about bicycle kicks, insane free kicks, and long-range shots. Click on the next video to see how good Cristiano Jr.